Hi, my name is Matthew, and today we are going to be tackling a challenge. So, last month I made a checkers bot, which could, according to its name, play checkers, and it could play very, very well. But today it's not going to be our goal to make a good bot. Today it's going to be our goal to make a bot under a very strict time, and the time is going to be 12 hours. So, the goal will be to make a bot powerful enough to beat some low-level chess players, and I feel like in 12 hours I could pull that off because I have a bit of an experience of making chess bots, and I'm gonna go around this bot making it a little different because I can't really afford to waste too much time on it. But yeah, the timer has already begun. It started at 10:32 a.m., which is something I've written here, as well as the plan as to how I'm going to make the bot. So now I'm gonna go over to the explanation station and try to explain what my plan is as quickly as I can to waste as little time as possible. So let's get to explaining. First, I'm going to explain why I wrote this on this little piece of paper instead of like a notebook or something. And the reason behind that is because I have a lot of these cut up pieces of paper and I don't want to waste them because trees had to die for this. But yeah, that's why I wrote it on this. But now let's get to explaining how the bot works because holy shit, I'm wasting a lot of time right now. So first of all, the way that the system is going to work is that first it will check whether or not the move you input is legal. That has like a few steps. First it will check whether or not the symbols that you're inputting are even logical to chess in general. And then once it checks all of that, it will kind of translate it to the way that the bot understands the moves that you're inputting. Once it does that, first it will check whether or not your move is even logical, and then it will check special moves such as en passant, moving the pawn 2 squares forward, and castling, etc, etc. And once it does all of that, it will check whether or not it is keeping its king in check, and whether or not you are keeping your king in check, because in both of those situations, the move would be illegal. And once it sees that your move is legal and makes it on its board, it will then evaluate. And the way that that happens is first it will evaluate defense. First it will see if you've blundered anything immediately, so it will look for immediate losses. This is a very complicated system, and frankly I'm too lazy to explain it, and also I don't have much time. But after that it checks whether or not its king is safe. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. Probably like how safe it is, as in how many pieces are around it and what purposes those pieces serve. And after that, it will evaluate like some basic opening things, like am I doing the openings right? But obviously that's only relevant if it is doing the openings. Then it will evaluate offense. Also, I fucked something up earlier. It will evaluate now whether or not you've blundered something. Before it was seeing whether or not it was blundering something. Sorry, I kind of fucked that up. And then after that, it will see whether or not it can check the king of the opponent, in which case it kind of will, because I'm not giving it too much thought. I'm not giving it depth, for example, which is like the most important thing in pretty much every chess bot that you can imagine. And yeah, pretty much it will just check the king and hope that it will win eventually. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, I really need to get working on the mod and I really need to code it. And yeah, let me go do that. I would say that for the first few hours, I was having a lot of fun. It took me a ridiculous amount of time to get the first ever thing done, which I thought would take a very short amount of time, but it sure was fun to start off and actually feel the thrill of the challenge. Hi, we are 4 hours into the challenge and all I've done so far is like the first step, and that step is checking whether or not the symbols that you're inputting are proper. And I don't know how that took 4 hours, I'll be honest. I must have blacked out or something because I just don't... It just should have taken less than 1 hour. For the following 2 hours, I will try to get all the legality things done. I will try to make the bot understand exactly what it means to make a legal move, as well as what it means for the player to make a legal move. Or actually, I may abandon that part. I may just let the player put in whatever. Because even when the bot is going to be playing my friends, I'm gonna be the one controlling the bot, so I do trust myself to input proper information. I could cut that part out entirely, which would be just, it would save so much time. Okay, I can do that. So now all it will need to do is just see my input, then make a move depending on that input, and then figure out all the legal moves that it has after my move. And once it figures out all the legal moves, it will just do the defense and offense evaluation, and yeah, that's really all we need. So I'm gonna try to finish up all the legality things in the following 2 hours. I am very confident that I will be able to do this. Though, as more hours passed, I found it very difficult to actually nail the thing. But eventually I did get it done. About halfway through the challenge, I finally moved on to the second thing, which was making sure that the bot understood what it meant to make a legal move. I struggled on that quite a lot as well. Alright, so 6 hours into the challenge, I'm done with the thing that I was struggling with earlier, thankfully, but half of the challenge is gone, and I'm currently trying to explain to the bot what legal moves it has in any given position. I'm struggling with pretty simple things, but the thing that I'm struggling with the most is trying to make it understand what it needs to stay in check, and the fact that it is illegal. I'm kind of having issues in pretty much every department. I'm getting better, and I hope in 2 hours I can return and tell you that I'm done with all of this, but, you know, a little bit of my hope is starting to slip away. I thought I'd be done with this stuff within the first 4 hours, and half of the challenge is gone, so I really hope that I can really pull off the rest of this within the next 6 hours. And frankly, even though a little bit of my hope is gone, a lot of it still remains, because all I have to do after I fix all of these things is the evaluation, which is pretty difficult, but it should be a lot easier. But once majority of that was done, all I had left was kink safety. Little did I know that that would be the hardest thing to get right. Slowly but surely, I started getting nearer and nearer to the end of the challenge, and I started working on the evaluation. The evaluation was also incredibly hard, and also something that I thought would not be that hard, considering the fact that depth was not a part of the bot. Just to explain to you, just to stress to you how important depth is, every good chessboard out there has depth. And it is pretty difficult to do if you are not like a guru at it, and if you haven't done it 1,000 times before. With depth, Theus would be so powerful that maybe it could take down even intermediate players. It's just, that's not the type of project we're working on today. I have 12 hours. I am now 9 hours in, and I am done with most of the things that I was saying I was struggling with, but I still can't quite figure out how to make the bot understand checks. It just keeps making mistakes on that. I have 3 hours left, so I don't feel like too scared about it, but I feel like I really need to start working on the evaluation. I'm gonna work on this for like 1 more hour, and if I can figure it out, I'll just move on to the evaluation, because I need to get started on that, and it will probably take roughly around 2 hours, so let's just hope that the following 3 hours are enough time. I still have a lot of hope left in me. I think I can do this. Well, guys, I have some bad news. Frankly, yesterday I was like 10 hours into the challenge. I still had a lot of things to do, and I didn't think I could do it in 2 more hours. And unfortunately, in the last hour, 11 hours had passed, and I still had a bit of motivation inside of me, but something unrelated came up. I had to go and do something that took me away from the challenge, and I don't want to lie in the title, so I'm gonna have to change the objective. What? You thought I didn't make the bot? How lowly do you think of me? The new question of the video is going to be, can I make a bot in 12 hours that is functional? So if the bot makes any illegal moves, which in any tournament would have been considered a loss, well, it will lose and the challenge would be failed. However, if, when it plays my friend, it manages to play all the legal moves and hell, maybe even a win, then it will be considered a win. Well, even if the bot actually loses. So, the new objective, even though it seems simpler, is actually a lot scarier for me, because if there are any illegal moves, I can just change some things up and continue the game. the challenge will be over. If it manages to entirely play a game with my friend without any illegal moves, then it will get to play me, which doesn't really mean anything, it's a good idea to give it 2 tries until we decide that in fact it works. So once all of that is done, I will get to the conclusion part of this video, but for now, let's move on to the game.
Okay, finally.
Is this chessbot, bro? Is it like I don't know, because I know I've fought like countless chessbots before, but it's all the same one, right?
Actually, a part of the reason I'm recording this is because I want there to be a reveal at the end.
Review, okay.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not gonna tell you exactly what the premise behind this video is, but you're gonna find out.
I'm gonna find it. Okay, yeah, I'm not the smartest guy at chess, so I won't even notice.
I'm not going to say if it's powerful or not. That's gonna be for you to figure out.
That's good.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
it's
like
quite
the
fun.
greatest spot ever made.
Uh, Give me a minute.
Move.
E7, F6. That makes zero sense. Oh, wait, F6, right? That was your move, F6.
Yeah, it's my move.
Okay, so well, here is where I reveal the premise very fittingly. You have 4 minutes left. So, what happened is that this bot was built under 12 hours, and the premise was that I wanted to make a bot under 12 hours, and I didn't want it to have issues, essentially. So,
Oh, okay.
it didn't work out for me.
No, that's crazy, bro. It
You
had
just made
issues.
an impossible move. But you were winning. I count this as you having won, basically. So
Oh my god, that's insane.
I will resign as the bot since it played an illegal move. If this happened in a tournament, it would count as the bot losing. So
No way.
there we
Oh
go.
my god, I'm the goat. I am.
You have won.
Well, to be completely honest, I was kind of crossing my fingers and hoping that it would win the game, but first of all, it was losing, and second of all, it failed to, appease the challenge. So with the challenge failed, there's no more to this video, and maybe I will return to Payas later. Actually, I don't think I've said its name during this entire video somehow. I did it again. Somehow I didn't reveal the bot's name until the very end. Don't worry about it. It is called Payas, which is Latin for worse. And the reason I chose that name is because it's not quite the worst bot I've ever made, but it's up there. I may return to the bot and maybe upgrade it, turn it into a new bot entirely, because I am curious how far you can go and how good you can make a bot without giving it depth. So that would be a fun challenge to figure out in the future. Thank you for watching, and if you have any ideas for what I could do, it doesn't even have to be chess related or board game related, just tell me pretty much any idea that includes coding and I may just do it. So either DM me or comment it down below or do just about anything. I'm willing to do almost anything coding related, as long as it's entertaining to watch. Anyways, have fun, because I know I will, and I made a checkers bot a month ago, so you may want to watch that video. Anyways, bye.